After her grandfather passed away, the woman took over and became the only night bus driver in the whole village. But before he died, her grandfather repeatedly warned her that 3 strict rules must never be broken. First, this bus must never allow a pregnant woman to get on. Second, every night the bus must depart exactly on time. Third, once the trip begins, no matter what happens, she must never stop midway or get off. If any of these 3 rules are broken, everyone on the bus will face disaster. Especially the first rule: she must never ever let a pregnant woman board. The woman faithfully followed her grandfather's teachings. So on her very first day at work, she carefully explained these 3 rules to all the passengers. However, this immediately caused dissatisfaction among them. They felt the woman was treating people unfairly. The woman calmly explained that her grandfather had driven this route for 30 long years and had always followed these rules. Since her grandfather said so, there must be a reason behind it. But the rude troublemaker loudly threatened to report her. At that moment, a wealthy woman nearby impatiently told him not to delay her from boarding. Although the other passengers had some complaints about these rules, this was still the only night bus in the village. If they missed it, they would not be able to get home. So they all gradually got on the bus. After everyone sat down, the uneasy woman once again emphasized the rules. The passengers grew impatient and told her to stop talking. They said everyone could see clearly that there could not possibly be any pregnant woman on board. An older man in the back also agreed and said everyone understood the rules. He told the woman to just focus on driving calmly. Hearing this, the woman did not continue explaining. She sat in the driver's seat, started the engine, and set off. Not long after the bus began moving, a young female student curiously asked the woman what would happen if there really was a pregnant woman on this bus. A middle-aged woman beside her immediately said nothing would happen even if there was one. She said she simply did not believe such a rule could be so strange. The troublemaker also chimed in, saying the woman was just trying to scare them. Right then, the woman suddenly slammed on the brakes and stopped the bus. She warned the passengers once again not to lie to her. If they kept going forward, there would be no chance to regret it later. The troublemaker angrily demanded if she was ever going to stop. He said there were only a few people on the bus, so where could a pregnant woman possibly be? The wealthy woman thought the driver just wanted to charge double fare for pregnant passengers. She even said she could pay an extra $100 herself at the stop, and told the driver to stop acting so suspicious. A female office worker nearby also said she was definitely not pregnant and urged the woman to drive. So the woman started the bus again and officially drove into the forest. Along the way, everything remained calm and nothing unusual happened. Seeing this, the troublemaker became even more convinced that the woman had only been trying to scare them. The middle-aged woman said the driver must have poor driving skills and was afraid of being responsible if something happened to a pregnant passenger. As time slowly passed, the bus had already been driving for half an hour yet still had not left the forest. The older man in the back also sensed something was wrong, because it usually only took 20 minutes to get out. But the bus had been circling for so long and still had not exited. The middle-aged woman insisted that the driver was deliberately taking the wrong route to scare them. At that moment, the troublemaker glanced out the window. He realized he had seen the same tree several times already. This made his heart suddenly tighten. His earlier arrogance instantly disappeared. The timid student nearby also said she recognized that tree. She nervously wondered if they had encountered something unclean. The middle-aged woman immediately said the student was just trying to scare everyone. She even raised her hand as if to scold her. Just then, the lights above suddenly began to flicker. Soon after, a chilling, eerie wind blew through, making everyone shiver uncontrollably. This made the troublemaker even more suspicious that something was following them. Only the middle-aged woman stubbornly insisted it was just the driver going the wrong way. As for the flickering lights, she said it was simply because the bus was too old. But in the next moment, something seemed to drift onto the troublemaker's face. He reached up, touched it, and took it down to look. To his shock, he was holding a piece of ghost money. He was nearly driven to collapse by this series of strange events. Yet the middle-aged woman argued again. She even picked up the ghost money and said a nearby family must be holding a funeral, and that the money had simply been blown in by the strong wind outside. The office worker agreed and told everyone not to scare themselves. Even so, she instinctively picked up her bag and held it over her stomach. At the same time, the bell on the bus kept ringing non-stop. In the next second, the overhead lights completely went out. Right after that, the woman shockingly saw that the hanging amulet in front of her was dripping with water. Then she slowly raised her head. The once empty road ahead suddenly had a tree appear out of nowhere. Fortunately, she stepped on the brakes in time and avoided crashing into it. The woman checked the time and realized that half an hour had already passed. Only then did she understand that she had not taken the wrong road at all. Instead, someone on the bus had broken the rule and hidden the identity of a pregnant woman. So she quickly got up from the driver's seat and immediately demanded to know who had broken the rule. At that moment, every passenger on the bus was completely stunned.